Well, joining us right now, we have Hanna Greer-Brown with the Solid Waste Authority of Central Ohio. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you both for the invite to be here.
Of course. Absolutely. Well, we're kind of in the theme today of improving businesses, right?
Okay.
And we're talking about the initiative that you guys have launched to help more local businesses get involved with recycling. Talk to us about the initiatives you have in place with this.
Yeah, thank you for that question. So for your viewers who may not be familiar with SWACO, we own and operate the municipal solid waste landfill here in Central Ohio. And so we have a really good pulse on what's being thrown away and where that material is coming from. And what we evaluate is how much is coming from local businesses. And people might be surprised to know that the majority of material coming to the landfill is coming from a local business. And so obviously Central Ohio's commercial sector is an important partner in our strategy to reduce the reliance on the landfill and to increase recycling. And so we did just recently kind of reignite our investments in our business recycling and food waste champions program. That is a program that's open to any commercial sector business here in Central Ohio. And we will come in and really help make it easy for a business to start or expand a recycling or food scrap composting program that they might have in place.
Right. And you were talking about, before the break, we were talking about some of the common things that you guys not just see thrown away, but see places in need of that could be recycled. What are some of those top items?
Yeah. So something that's kind of surprising about the material that's thrown away is 76% of it actually could have been reused, recycled, or composted. And so there are a lot of opportunities to divert that material from the landfill. And when we look at what makes up that 76%, it's a lot of food scraps and a lot of cardboard. And so those are kind of two of the highest priority areas that we're focused on, helping businesses capture that material and keeping it moving through a circular economy.
Okay. And so what other incentives are there for businesses to get involved with this?
Yeah. So if a business in Central Ohio wants to either start or expand a recycling or a composting program, they can reach out to SWACO. Simply email us at biz@swaco.org, and we can help them audit their waste stream. We'll help them create signage for their new program. We'll also reimburse them the cost of the hauling of that material away from their business. And so really, if there's a business in Central Ohio who's interested in doing anything around sustainability, we'd encourage them to reach out to us. If we don't have a program, we probably know somebody that has a program, like the Ohio EPA's Market Development Grant Program, that we can get them connected with.
Yeah, talk to us more about that EPA program. What is that?
Yeah, so obviously I don't work for the EPA, but I'll do my best to kind of explain a little bit about what their grant program is. So it's an annual grant program that they open up to Central Ohio businesses who can apply for up to $200,000 in grant funding to help with recycling programs. So we're talking about maybe the purchase of a baler for cardboard. We talked about how important it is to divert cardboard from the recycling stream. Or other things, construction and demolition debris. So they've got a whole list of eligible projects on their website, which is recycleohio.gov. And that application period opens in September, closes in December. And one of the ways that SWACO can be helpful is that for a business going through that process, they need a public sector sponsor in order to apply for the grant funding. And so that's where SWACO comes in. We are available and able to help sponsor those projects. So again, if you want to go through that process, reach out to SWACO. We'd be happy to talk you through it and see if it's a good fit for our project.
I've seen, when I first moved to Columbus, I heard about you guys, and I feel like you guys have really been growing over the past even like 2 years.
Okay.
What differences have you seen with businesses that are coming to you saying, hey, we want to get involved in this, that wouldn't have necessarily done so maybe 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah. Well, that's a great point because this program is relatively new. We really kind of reignited it just a couple of years ago and really are taking a more proactive approach to reaching out to those businesses because they are a really important partner in our strategic goals to extend the life of the landfill by increasing recycling. And so we've had so many businesses reach out to us, everything from small mom and pop shops to big, even big recyclers or big, Fortune 100 companies in Central Ohio who need recycled content to make their products. So we kind of work with everybody. We're happy to meet you where you're at. Like I said, this program is an option for companies that either have no recycling program and want to start one, or they have one and want to grow it. So,
do you find that companies that maybe didn't have one before, financial reasons were a barrier to them?
Yeah, I think so. And I think our program certainly helps remove that barrier because we're willing to pay for that hauling of those recyclables or food scraps away from a business. So yeah, I think sometimes the economics of it can be challenging for a business.
And just for context, when we're talking about all this recyclable material, what is the problem with that going into the landfill instead of being recycled?
Yeah. So it's not so much that it's a problem for the landfill, but when we throw away these materials, we're throwing out value. So if you think about what it takes to create a product, we're extracting natural resources from the environment. And then when we don't recycle them, we can contribute to pollution, or if they get littered, they're in our waterways. And so there are those environmental kind of impacts if we don't keep them moving through a circular economy. The other thing that's interesting is it's not just environmental. We lose out on the economic benefits of recycling if we simply just landfill these materials. There are hundreds of businesses in Central Ohio that want our cardboard, that want our plastic bottles, because they use that material to make their products that they sell. So anytime we can recycle something at the curb, it goes on to a business here mostly in the Midwest, if not in Ohio, where it becomes a new product and helps those businesses really achieve their business mission.
Right. And I know we talk a lot about lithium-ion batteries. We had someone on the other day talking about that. Do you think there's going to be a way that that's eventually streamlined in recycling?
They're such a tricky item because they're so hazardous. Mm-hmm. And so it really is important to keep them out of your recycling, keep them out of your trash. SWACO has a number of facilities where you can bring those and drop them off free of charge. So, I don't know. I guess we're always optimistic that we'll be able to recycle more things down the road. But I think, the lithium-ion battery issue is challenging. So,
yeah.
And we know that Central Ohio is growing. There's so many more businesses. I mean, we say it all the time here. So many more businesses coming. So just making sure that they have access to these types of resources. Yeah. I think it's important just for our growth in general.
100%. Yeah. I'm I told you, my dad's a local business owner and goes through a lot of cardboard.
Yeah. You got to get him on.
Is he a part of this? I'm going to give him a call.
Yeah, certainly have him
for the program.
Yes.
Don't tell him.
Well, Hannah, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.